Before I tell you this story, I need you to understand something about me. I don't believe in ghosts. I never have. When other people see shadows and whisper about spirits, I'm the one looking for the draft, the trick of the light, the rational explanation hiding behind the fear. I am not the kind of person who gets scared, but there is one night, one single night, that I cannot explain away. One night that pulls me out of sleep, years later, drenched in sweat, staring at the dark ceiling of my bedroom and listening, really listening, to make sure the house is quiet. Because if what I saw that night was real, then I genuinely do not know what was sitting in that rocking chair. When my wife and I first started dating, we were reckless. Not the dangerous kind of reckless, not the kind that makes the news, just stupid, young reckless. The kind where you break into abandoned buildings at 2 in the morning because you're bored and 20-something, and you think nothing bad can ever happen to you. My wife, my girlfriend at the time, was obsessed with the paranormal. She could spend entire evenings down research rabbit holes, ghost stories, haunted locations, urban legends. She believed, deeply and completely, that every abandoned structure held a dark secret just waiting to be uncovered. I never bought into any of it. I went along because I liked her, simple as that. And honestly, most of the places we broke into turned out exactly like you'd expect. Empty, filthy, disappointing. Just dust and silence and the occasional startled raccoon, until one night, one house, one woman, and one sound I will never for the rest of my life forget. It was one of the darkest nights I've ever seen. No moon, no stars, just thick black clouds pressing down from every direction like the sky was holding its breath. The kind of darkness that feels heavy. The kind that swallows your flashlight beam before it can reach anything useful. She'd found the place online, an abandoned farmhouse sitting miles from anything. No neighbors, no streetlights, no signs that the modern world had ever touched this stretch of land. Just an old, decaying structure, alone, in the middle of nowhere. The second I saw it, I wanted to leave. The house looked like it was losing a war against gravity. Parts of the roof had caved in. The windows were nothing but jagged black frames. The porch sagged so far toward the ground that I genuinely couldn't tell if it was still attached. Even from a distance, the whole thing looked like a held breath, like it was one strong gust away from folding in on itself. But she was already walking toward it. The front door was boarded shut, so I kicked it open. The moment the wood splintered inward, a wave of stale air rushed out and hit us like a wall. The smell, rot, mold, and something else underneath, something I couldn't name, something ancient, like the air inside that house hadn't moved in decades. I swept my flashlight across the living room. Half the floor was missing. A massive hole dropped straight into the basement below, swallowing everything in pure black. One wrong step and you'd be gone. No warning, no time to catch yourself. I turned to her immediately. "We should go." She rolled her eyes. "Just give me a minute." Famous last words. While she searched for ghosts, I stayed near the entrance. Honestly, I trusted the paranormal more than I trusted those floorboards. But eventually, the way curiosity does, it got the better of me. I followed her deeper into the house, and every room was worse than the last. Furniture stacked to the ceiling for no reason anyone could explain. Broken glass ground into the warped flooring. Water damage turning the walls the color of old bruises. Wallpaper peeling away in long, curling strips like skin. The whole house felt abandoned, but somehow not empty. You know that feeling? when you're completely alone in a place, when you've confirmed there's no one else around, but your brain keeps whispering that something is watching you. That's what this house felt like. Every room, every hallway, like the walls themselves were paying attention. Then she turned to me and said, "Check upstairs." I said no. She laughed. "Sooner we check the whole house, sooner we leave." I hated that she had a point. I climbed the stairs alone. Every single step groaned beneath my weight like it was in pain. The wood sounded wet, spongy, ready to give way at any second. By the time I reached the second floor landing, I was convinced I was about to fall through. The first bedroom stopped me cold. It looked frozen. I need you to understand something. The door to that house had been boarded shut from the outside, not to keep people out, to keep something in. The bedroom looked frozen in time. Bed still made, sheets still tucked, a folded bathrobe sitting neatly at the foot of it, like whoever slept there had simply stepped out for a moment and never came back. Everything coated in a thick skin of dust, but arranged, deliberately arranged. I searched the room, nothing unusual. Then I saw the crawl space tucked into the corner. I should have left it alone. I didn't. I got down on my hands and knees and crawled inside, and immediately the smell hit me. Thick, stale, wrong in a way that went past rot, past mold, past anything I could name. My stomach turned. Then my flashlight found what was waiting in the dark. Baby supplies, boxes of diapers, old glass jars of food, children's toys, their hollow painted eyes catching the light, staring straight back at me through layers of cobwebs. All of it perfectly preserved. All of it sealed inside that space like a time capsule that was never meant to be opened. I didn't know what family had lived in that house. Crouched in that tiny, suffocating dark, I realized I didn't want to know. And then I heard it. Creak, creak, creak. My first thought was the house settling. Old wood, temperature, normal. But old houses don't settle in rhythm. Slow, steady, deliberate. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like something keeping time. Like something that had been keeping time for a very long while. My flashlight found a narrow passage deeper in the crawl space, running the full length of the house. The sound was coming from somewhere beyond it, and it was growing louder with every second. I was too big to fit through, so I backed out into the hallway. I walked toward the sound. Each step brought it into sharper focus, closer, clearer, realer, and my mind was screaming rational explanations at me the whole way. Raccoon, loose board, wind shifting through a broken window. Anything, everything. My mind was doing everything it could to protect me, but my body had already stopped listening. My body already knew. I reached the end of the hall. I stepped into the doorway, and every muscle in my body locked up at once. A woman was sitting in a rocking chair, facing the window, rocking, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Long gray hair hanging perfectly still down her back. A dark skirt pooled around the chair legs like a shadow. She wasn't moving, except for the rocking. Perfectly steady, perfectly mechanical, like a metronome that had never once lost its count. Creak, creak, creak. I took one careful step forward. The floorboard groaned under my foot, and instantly, the rocking stopped. The silence that fell into that room was the loudest thing I have ever heard in my life. I swallowed. Sorry, we didn't know anyone lived here. Nothing. She didn't move. She didn't speak. She sat there like something that had forgotten or never learned how to respond to a human voice. Several long seconds passed. Then slowly, the rocking started again, as if I hadn't spoken, as if I wasn't there, as if, in whatever reality she existed in, I was the one who didn't belong. I took another step. Are you okay? The rocking stopped again. This time, she stood up, very slowly, and then I heard it. A sound rising from somewhere deep inside her chest. A hum, low, soft, monotone, tuneless, gentle in the most fundamentally wrong possible way, like a lullaby sung to a room full of nothing, like a sound that had no business living inside a human throat. Every hair on the back of my neck stood up at once, and then, without any warning, she spun around. I ran. No thought, no words, pure animal instinct. I ran. The glimpse I caught lasted less than a second. It was enough. Wrinkled skin stretched too tight across her face, like something wearing a person rather than being one. Sunken features that didn't sit right, that didn't fit right, in a way I still can't fully describe. Something in the geometry of her expression that was off. Deeply, fundamentally, irreversibly off. And her eyes. I don't remember her eyes. I only remember that I will spend the rest of my life grateful that I don't. Nobody believes you. I burst downstairs. I grabbed her arm. I told her everything, every detail, every second, every word. She patted my hand and walked toward the stairs. I followed, because I wasn't letting her go up there alone. Even then, especially then. When she reached the doorway at the end of the hall and looked inside, she went completely still. The chair sat motionless in the center of the floor. I stepped up beside her. No woman, no movement, no sign that anyone or anything had ever been there. She turned to me, looked at the chair, looked back at me, and laughed. Fully. She nearly doubled over. You got scared of a chair? I wanted to believe her. I wanted to grab that explanation and never let go. Creak, creak, creak. Her laughter stopped like a switch had been flipped. I watched the color drain from her face in real time. She turned to me slowly. Her voice had gone very small. What was that? And then the humming started. The exact same melody. Soft, gentle, drifting from inside the room like it had always been there, just waiting for us to go quiet enough to finally hear it. Neither of us moved. We stood there listening as the rocking grew louder and the humming grew clearer. And then she stepped into the doorway. She looked inside. The color that had left her face didn't come back, because sitting in that rocking chair was the woman. Again, rocking slowly, humming softly, facing the window, as if she had never left, as if she had simply waited, patient and still as something that does not experience time the way the living do. She didn't laugh this time. She didn't say a single word. She turned, and we ran. Down the hall, down the stairs, through the wreckage, over the threshold, out into the cold black night. We didn't look back, not once. At the car, she was shaking so hard she couldn't get the key in the door. I took it from her. I drove. She looked at me with wide, hollow eyes. What did we just see? I didn't answer, because I didn't have one. Even now, years later, I still don't. Maybe it was just an old woman, forgotten, alone, living out her last years in a house no one had checked on. Maybe. But I keep coming back to the same details. The door boarded shut from the outside, the rooms sealed like tombs, the way she vanished between one moment and the next, and then simply reappeared, as if the space between those moments didn't exist for her. And the humming, that soft, gentle, terrible humming that seemed to rise from the walls themselves. I still don't know what was sitting in that rocking chair, but I've stopped trying to find out, because something tells me if I look hard enough for the answer will find me first.